Hi, I'm Davy. I'm awesome. And welcome to Davy's Awesome Stories, where I tell funny stories from my past or go on a rant in an effort to make you laugh. As the years have gone on, as technology has progressed, I can't think about how different television watching today is versus when I was a kid. Or heck, even before I was a kid, before I was born. My dad used to tell me about when I was a kid. We only had 3 channels. If the antenna would pick them all up. And if the president came on, that was on every channel. Watching TV was a chore. We had to watch TV barefoot in the snow, uphill both ways. Okay, I'll admit that last part I just kind of made up. But still, it definitely changed by the time I was a kid. Like, the president made addresses, and as a kid, I didn't watch them. I remember seeing the clips later of them announcing Desert Storm, and I remember people asking, like, how did you not see it when it was on? Because he wasn't on Nickelodeon. I don't know. Same thing as I remember seeing the replays of Bill Clinton announcing that he had had an affair with Monica Lewinsky, but he wasn't on MTV, so I didn't see it. The only time anything like that ever took up all the channels since I've been alive was 9/11. That definitely took up every channel. It was all the same coverage. And we were okay with that because we were all just wanting updates. But it's just funny thinking about it then versus now. Now, hardly anybody has cable anymore. It's all streaming services and YouTube and whatnot. Some are free, some you pay for. You can pay a little extra to have no ads, or you can just pay a standard price and get a few. And even nowadays, the standard ad breaks, still not as long as what commercial breaks used to be. Then again, back then, we kind of liked the commercial breaks because that gave us a chance to go use the bathroom, because we couldn't pause what we were watching. But it led to that. We had to watch what was on while it was on. There was no DVRs. There wasn't a streaming service where we could just click on it and watch it whenever we want and come back to it whenever we want. If we didn't watch it right now, then we didn't know what happened. If we didn't finish it now, we were unaware of how it ended. At least until maybe the rerun came on. And I even remember levels of excitement, because back then there was cable companies. You didn't have to always just go with one. And you'd be excited because your parents would tell you, we're going to this cable company now. The standard basic cable comes with 58 channels. And I remember my brother and I being like, 58 channels? Awesome! We'll never run out of stuff to watch. But we did. No matter what, we always ended up getting to the point where there was nothing on. I remember the last time getting excited about more channels was because the cable company upped it to where basic cable means 125 channels. And me being like, whoa, with 125 channels, there will always be something on. There wasn't. Because you'd find out that most of those channels were just playing crap. But one thing that made it okay back then was that if there was nothing on, we could always go to the trusted MTV. That used to stand for music television. It meant that, you know what, if there's nothing else on, I can just watch music videos. It's like the radio, but videos to accompany it. Yay! Granted, not every video that comes up is going to be one I want to watch, but it's like a couple of minutes, just sit through it, and eventually it'll get to one I like. And if it's one I don't like, I can always go get a drink, go to the bathroom, whatever. But then MTV had to start ruining that. It started subtle, small. Like when they first started doing shows, they all centered around the music videos. They were like, hey, we're going to take a little time and just show you rap videos. And a little time and just show you rock videos. And we're going to do countdowns of what's popular right now. And countdowns of what was popular back then. And these were like, okay, sure, whatever. It's music. But then they decided out of nowhere, they were going to start showing us a bunch of late teen, early 20 people living in a house together, bitching and moaning over who ate the peanut butter. I'll give them this, at least because of that. When I got older and had roommates, I was always just like, hey, you buy your food, I'll buy my food, just don't touch it. And then that wasn't enough because they were like, hey, we'll take this concept, but we'll put them in a motorhome and make them go around doing little challenges. People want to watch that. And that just kept growing and growing. Now, granted, sometimes the shows they had were great. They had cartoons like Beavis and Butthead, The Max, The Head. Loved those cartoons. But I was still like, okay, this is interrupting my music videos. Now it's at the point they don't even play music videos anymore. Except on their, like, sister channels. And even then, who watches those? If we want to watch music videos nowadays, we go on YouTube. Because then we can just find the video we want. We don't have to sit through hours of ones we don't care about. They've even released press statements that MTV does not stand for music television anymore. It's basically just teeny bopper reality shows where their most popular ones are about pregnant teenagers. Which I don't get why those are so popular now. Those would have been popular when I was growing up. Because when I was growing up, it wasn't like when my dad was growing up when a pregnant teenager was just ridiculously unheard of to the point that they went after a pregnant teenager with torches. No, it was something you'd heard about, you'd probably seen here and there. But at my high school, there was a pregnant girl, and when somebody would say like, hey, you know the pregnant girl? None of us were like, which one? We knew who he was talking about. Nowadays, I live in a town with like 6 or 7 high schools, and I know at least 2 of them have daycares. But off that rant, when MTV started doing that, it would get to the point like, I don't want to watch a bunch of early 20-year-olds complaining over stupid crap. So now there's really nothing on. It's either this or go watch reruns of a show that I've seen over and over again, because there was that. Your shows, they'd be reran. But you had no control over which episode you were watching. So sometimes it's like, dude, I've seen this episode 100,000 times. Sometimes you were excited because like, whoa, they're finally playing this episode again. We did not have seasons of television shows on videotapes. The only way you could have that is if you recorded it off of television. And then it didn't come like it does now where it's like episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, episode 4. No. Let me put it this way. My brother recorded almost everything he watched on television. His philosophy was, if I don't like it, I'll tape over it later. At one point, he had the entire series of In Living Color on tape. But not in order. It was like the first couple of episodes were from season 1. Then it went into a couple of episodes of season 4, then a couple episodes of season 3, then an episode of season 2, then back to season 1, then back to season 4. But he did have all the episodes. You just couldn't watch them in order. One thing I miss about that era was sometimes, yeah, you watched things for no other reason than because it's on. There's nothing else to watch. I'll check this out. Sometimes it was stuff you didn't give a crap about. You never watched it again, unless, again, there was just nothing else on. Sometimes, though, you found things that you thought you wouldn't like. It turned out you loved them. That's how I got onto one of my favorite shows of all time, Becker. I was up late night. There's not much on late night. So if there's something other than infomercials, you watch it. It was Becker. I didn't know anything about it. Didn't really want to watch it when it was new. But I was like, you know what? I'll check this out because there's nothing else on. It became one of my favorite shows. Now, there's always something somewhere. I don't need to sit there and watch something just because it's on. Because if there's nothing really in the mood to watch, I can just go watch random videos on YouTube, go on Facebook or TikTok and just watch Reels or TikToks, whatever. There's always something now. But that was the thing. We'd sometimes get to a point where there was nothing on worth watching, so it was either sit here and watch crap or get up and go get a VHS tape. And sometimes we opted for watching just crap because there just really wasn't anything we were in the mood to watch. But sometimes I'll admit, just because we were lazy. Like, you'd be sitting there going back and forth like, hey, you know what we haven't watched in a while? Spaceballs. You want to watch Spaceballs? Oh, hell yeah. Okay, go get it. Pop it in. You go get it. No, you get it. You go get it. You get it. It was your idea. Yeah, I came up with the idea. So now you do your part and go get the movie. And we'd eventually just settle for watching crap. And I wish I could say that with the technology, the laziness has stopped, but I'm going to tell on myself a little bit here. Something I have done. But I'm going to go ahead and tell on myself because every one of you listening, you've probably done the same thing. There have been times I have been sitting here wanting to watch something specific, thinking to myself, I could really go for watching a movie that I own on DVD. But then I'd have to get up and I'd have to go through my DVDs and find it and then bring it over and put it in the DVD case. You know what? Let me see if it's on one of my streaming services. Where to watch School of Rock, a movie I own. Oh, good, it's on Netflix. I can just watch it there. And I'll be sitting there watching it and thinking to myself, I have this. This is why it's not in my list, because I saw it and thought, why put that in my list? I can watch it on DVD anytime. But whatever. But it gets worse. Because one streaming service I also really love is Tubi. And one time, I caught myself. I was like, you know what I haven't watched in a long time? Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. but I don't want to get the DVD. Where to watch Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, a movie I own on DVD. It's on Tubi. I can just watch it there. Now, if you're one of these people who still hasn't watched Tubi, you don't know what it is, it's a streaming service, mostly older stuff, movies and TV shows, and it's free because it has ad breaks. And I'm sitting here watching Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, a movie I own on DVD that I could watch anytime I want, commercial free. And I'm sitting here in the middle of the ad break and thinking, this is how lazy you've let yourself become. You are watching a movie on Tubi that you already own with ad breaks because you just didn't want to get up and get the movie. And I would like to tell you that realization made me get off my lazy butt and go get the DVD, but it didn't. I just finished watching the movie with ads. But it gets worse, because then there was a day I wanted to watch Willow. For no reason, just sitting here and like, I could go for watching Willow. I own that on DVD. But you know what? I don't want to go looking through my DVDs. So, where to watch Willow? Oh, it's only on Disney Plus. I don't have that. I'll watch something else. And it did occur to me as I was watching something else that I wasn't even that into because I wasn't really in the mood to watch it. And I thought, this is how lazy you've gotten? You don't want to be watching this. You want to watch Willow. You want to be taken away into a world of magic and swords and Val Kilmer with trolls and big dragon-like beasts and witches. But because you don't have it streaming, even though you have the DVD, you'd rather sit here and watch this crap versus get off your lazy butt and go grab Willow? And I would like to tell you that that realization made me get off my lazy butt and go get Willow and watch it, but it didn't. I just watched what I was already watching. I will say this, at least my laziness hasn't gotten this far. When I was talking about this to somebody, and they were like, oh yeah, I've done that. And one time, it wasn't on any streaming service I had. The only place I could watch it was on Vudu, where I had to buy it. So I actually bought a movie I already own on DVD just so I wouldn't have to get up. Okay, my laziness has never gotten that far. I do own some digital copies of movies, but every one I own is either because a DVD came with the digital copy, or I don't own a physical copy, and sure, that's convenient. Instead of going to the store or ordering it and waiting for it to come in, I can just buy it now and watch it now and own it now. But I've never bought a digital copy of a movie that I already own on DVD. I'll either just not watch the movie, most likely, or if I really want to watch it that bad, I'll get off my butt, go grab it, and put it in. So I'll give myself that much credit. My cheapness trumps my laziness. So there you have it. That's my story video this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit that little bell so you get notifications for when I post new videos, and leave a comment. Tell me some ways that television watching has changed from when you were a kid. Love you guys.